Ladies and gentlemen, I have seen over 75 new movies this year in theaters, and the year is coming to an end, coming to a close. It's the time people are making, the top 5 worst movies of the year, the top 10 worst movies of the year, the top movies that made me want to, stop eating, some stuff like that. Drop a brick on my toe, step on some Legos. You get the idea. It's Christmas time. It's the season of giving. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some of the least well-received movies of the year, and I'm gonna give them some compliments. I'm gonna say, hey, you, Madam Web, you did this right. Good job, Madam Web. It's easy to hate on a not good movie, but what's hard is to find the silver lining. That takes some real film brain, some real film, I'm a real film critic. I got the movie, the eyes for it, the ears for it, the smells for it, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm not saying these are the worst movies of the year. In fact, I don't even have an order. Like, I have a big tier list of all my 75 movies, and I just have, like, the category says everything else. So, movies that I was like, no thank you. And this is gonna be really tough. Let's start with Mean Girls, the musical, the movie. In general, I do think a lot of the songs in this are very well written. Granted, it's hard to attribute that to this movie because it is adapting just songs from the musical, so I can't give it too much credit for that. But I think the songs are well performed. I think Renee rap is really cool, and there's this really cool musical cue in the song Sexy that I really enjoy. I'll admit, I've watched the scene a few times just because I think it's sick, and that's in that transition, and they use like the flash of like a picture as like a snare or like a hit or something like that. Cool. I'll play it real quick, but hopefully it doesn't get, bad on my video. There it is. I don't know. I think that's really cool. I like the mix of the sounds, diegetically, and it's really cool. From there, we have Venom: The Last Dance. Wasn't the biggest fan of this movie, but let's find a compliment with it. Tom Hardy and what's-his-face are always really cool. Eddie Brock, Venom, they are always a highlight in this movie. There's always going to be a moment in these films that I enjoy because of the chemistry between these two guys. I think Tom Hardy does great. Not like, his best role ever, but I still think he's trying still in this movie, and I enjoy that about it. Oh man, there are some really tough ones here, dude. Some really tough ones. Let's go to Argyle. Agent Argyle. Agent Argyle, again, kind of a rough movie to talk about. Here's the thing. Let's talk about the directing. I know some people have, gotten mad at it for being a little goofy and shot ugly, color grading. I really admire the attempts to do something creative visually, and I think that there are some cool moments. There are some threads, some little sprinkles of interesting moments visually. I think when they're fighting with all shooting like the blue and the pink powder, some cool moments visually there that I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea. Her sliding in all the oil. I respect the attempt to do something unique, something that we haven't just seen in any other action movie before. I really admire that about the direction, the cinematography, the fight choreography. I really respect that in this movie, and I can still watch this movie if I were to watch it again and still be like, okay, I respect what they're going for. I respect the at least creativity, And then we have Tarot, dude. Tarot holds a very special place in my heart. Let me tell you that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say why, but it holds a very special place in my heart. People who know, you guys know. Again, this movie is very heavily jump scare based. Very like, okay, just jump scare. Don't like that at all. It seems very like, let's appeal to the PG-13 high school audience. Feels like one of those movies, but I will say, first of all, I think the lead two performances are like pretty solid for sure. But I also like the idea of the tarot cards representing a new villain every single time. I think that the creativity in the villains and the designs of all of them, I think that's easily the best part of the movie. You have like the magician and the hangman and the clown and the jokester and the, the Russian dolls, whatever the hell these tarot cards are. I respect the designs. I respect going that extra effort to giving each card its own unique villain. I think that's really cool. And then we're going to do Miller's Girl. Wow. I forgot about this one. I'm not going to lie, but I did see it. And it's weird because I like Martin Freeman and I really like Jenna Ortega. And Jenna Ortega's good in this movie. She's really good in this movie. You can say whatever else there is about the script and, how a little odd of watch, but I still think it's a good performance by Miss Ortega. I think she does a good job here. Moving on, let's do Madam Web. Madam Web. Madam Web. This one's, I'm kind of gonna go with a cop out. I'm kind of gonna be like, okay, you know, is it really good or is it just better than the alternative? There's a shot of, you know, frickin' Flash in No Way Home where you're like, geez, dude, that's some bad green screen right there. This, it was shot on location for the most part. I like that. There are some shots of like just her in the city. I respect the fact that they filmed it in location and didn't just take the easy way out, especially in these Sony movies where I don't know what kind of effort was going into them. I don't know what kind of like, we have to just make money or like keep the rights, what that situation was. But the fact they still filmed a lot of it in location, in camera, when they could, I think that's cool. I think that needs to be done more in movies, let alone superhero movies. That's really cool that they did that. Moving on, this one is really tough. I'm not gonna lie. It's Subservient. This is really tough one. Let's see, dude. Let's see. I got it. Okay, I can come up with something. I don't remember very much about this movie. I got this. I can do this. I can do this. There's something about this movie that's enjoyable. Oh, man. Give me a second. I'm thinking. That's really... Okay, can I come back to it? Let's do Imaginary. Imaginary, wow. Imaginary is about Chauncey the Bear. Good old Chauncey. You know Chauncey? Yeah, I went to high school with him. You did too? Oh, you had history, right? Okay, I got you. I remember you now. You sat behind Chauncey. Yeah, that's right. You did. No, you did. I'm stalling. I'm not gonna lie. Chauncey the Bear. Can I come back? Let's do Mousetrap. Oh man, I'm on a cold streak. I'm on a real cold streak. Not gonna lie. Mousetrap is the copyright-free Mickey Mouse movie. And okay, hear me out. Here's the thing about Mousetrap the movie. Mousetrap is about Mickey Mouse. I want to say something about them using Steamboat Willie, but I feel like Steamboat Willie's not even this movie. Hear me out. I'll come back to this one. Let's do Borderlands. Frickin' Florian, whatever I forget his last name, Florian as Krieg. That's a good casting. Physicality wise, he looks the part. I think that's really cool. I think Ariana Greenblatt too is a really good actress. I don't blame her for her depiction of Tiny Tina. I'm a big Tiny Tina fan. This version, that's one way to do it. Not a fan necessarily, but I don't think it's her fault. I think it's the script and, just what, the craziness of the story here. I think she's a good actress, and Florian, like I said, he looks just like Krieg. 1-to-1. You know what I'm saying? 1-to-1. In fact, Krieg in general is pretty solid in this movie. I feel like people don't talk about that. He's solid. Again, as good as Krieg can be. Okay, Subservience. Imaginary and Mousetrap. Subservient, Imaginary, Mousetrap. Subservient, Imaginary, Mousetrap. You know what scene I thought was okay was like the therapy scene. When the kind of like the twist of like Chauncey the Bear's not even there. When the therapist is like, little lady, there's no bear there next to you, and like the whole bear is kind of made up. I think that scene's kind of cool. I like that scene. And genuinely, I'm not just making something up to make something up. Genuinely, I think that scene's the best in the movie. I think it's a cool kind of like back and forth where she's doing the Chauncey boys. I'm Chauncey, I ate all your kibble. I ate all your fruit roll-ups in the pantry. And she's like, damn you, Chauncey. That's a cool scene. Okay, there you go. There's one, baby. I can do this. Mousetrap, Subservience, Mousetrap. Mousetrap. We can't all be winners.